The faith of a 5-year-old boy. So I want to tell y'all a story about a kindergartner, a 5-year-old boy who, before he knew what a high school diploma was, before he knew what graduation was, before he knew anything like that, he was telling himself that he was going to graduate college. 5 years old, without the information, without his parents telling him and telling him what college was. He must have heard of college and knew that he was going to graduate. That wasn't a question for him. And so this little boy knew and had put it in his mind from a very young age that he would graduate college, and the only concern he would have is going to get a master's degree. Mind you, once again, this little boy was not informed of master's degrees. This little boy was not informed of bachelor's degrees. For some reason, he knew about these things long before anybody told him about it, but he had said it in his mind. He had embedded that thought into his mind. It was like a bedrock. It was a foundation. Everything was built off of that. And so this little boy went through school, and he passed the first grade, and the second, and the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way through middle school, all the way through high school. And he got to college, and he went through his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Now, this little boy did not have perfect grades. He did not have straight A's or straight E's at the time, or he did not have that. There were times when he got A's, and there were times when he got B's, and there was times when he got C's, and there were times when he got D's and F's. This little boy believed, though, that he was going to graduate. He had told himself that he was going to graduate, and nothing was going to stop this little boy from graduating. And as he had placed that thought in his mind, it came to pass. December 2006, he graduated with his bachelor's degree. And so this little boy said that I will graduate with my bachelor's degree. I'm not concerned about getting out of elementary school. I'm not concerned about getting out of middle school or high school. I'm not concerned about getting out of college. My only concern will be getting into a master's program. And so this little boy, after he graduated, he went around for a little bit and worked a few jobs and could not really get anything in his field. And just like he said, he was concerned about getting into a master's program because master's programs require a 3.0 when he had a 2.7, and they require 1,000 plus in the GRE, and he had a 900 something. And so this little boy had a slight concern about getting into his master's program, the same concern he had when he was 5 years old. But by the grace of God, he was able to write a phenomenal essay. He was able to get in with a 2.7 and a 900 something GRE score. And he got into the master's program, and he had a chip on his shoulder going into this program. He had something to prove. This little boy had something to prove. He had to prove to a system that says you need to have these grades. You need to have this score to be successful. He had something to prove. And so this little boy went through this program. This little boy was a man at the time. He went through this program, and he got a 3.9 GPA coming out of his master's program. And for all you that don't know, those are pretty much all A's and one B. So this little boy, at this point, he had embedded in his mind that he not only would go through, he can get his bachelor's degree, but he also would get his master's degree. And now, when it came time for his PhD, his EDD, he did not have a concern on whether he was going to make it through, because he knew what it was to set something in his mind and make it a bedrock foundation. And he knew what it was to overcome. He knew what it was to not let any obstacle stop him. And he knew what it was, like when he set it up, I already see the end point. I'm not worried about the journey. I already see the end point. I know I will make it through the journey. So I say all this to say, I tell this story to say that this is me. I am that little boy. I am that man. I am that one that set that foundation from 5 years old about a bachelor's program. I am that one that had a concern about a master's program, put a chip on his shoulder, and went through with the 3.9. I am that one who is now in an EDD program, and I promise you, I will succeed. I will overcome. I will make it through this program. And by the time it's all said and done, I will be Dr. Keith Anthony Fairclough Jr. There's something to be said about believing in what you say you're going to do. There's something to be said about having faith and speaking it. There's something to be said about that. I'm not telling you a story about somebody else. I'm telling you about something I lived. And I'm telling you, this journey had its ups and the journey had its downs. And I was down. There was times I was depressed. There was times I was sad. There was times I would cry. There was times I put on a fake smile. But nothing in between would stop me from getting to what I said I was going to do from when I was 5 years old. And so I want to encourage everybody and anybody, find that thing, whatever it is. Set your focus in your mind, set it deep down in you that it cannot be moved, and hold on to it and believe it and speak it. And if you do that, not promise you easy times, but I do promise you it will come to pass. If you set it down in your heart, down in your mind, and you speak it and you believe it, it will come to pass. So I just want to encourage you guys, encourage everybody, believe it. Set it down inside yourself, work hard for it, and it'll come to pass. All right, y'all take care, be blessed, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.